I'm Vanya Womack with Refugees Unknown Stories Untold. And today we have Ridvan Aydin, who is with us. And I thank you very much for being willing to talk to us and talking to people about your experience in being a cadet in Turkey during the period of time of the 2016 coup attempt. I should say 2016 failed coup attempt. So Ridvan, why don't we start out and have you, introduce yourself a little bit, give us a little background as to what you were doing in Turkey, why you decided to become a cadet.
Sure. So in 2013, I was graduated from high school. And before that, I was not sure what I want to do in the future. And I was looking for the options. And I think the main reason I wanted to be a cadet is being a Turkish officer, especially in the Airforce, which is the most prestigious one. And then I was thinking I didn't have something clear on mind to do in the future. So I was like, yeah, this looks like a good idea. That is really prestigious. I don't know, by money side, by how people look at you, but also the job you do is really cool. And I always love that organized lifestyle, the military lifestyle. And then my uncle was already in army. I was highly impressed by him. End of high school, I was like, yeah, this looks like a cool idea. It just grows in time and in months, and then so in Turkey system is like that. In the end of high school, you do an exam, like all the last year, senior year of high school students do an exam, and then in the end of the exam, you are being listed, like graded, and by your grade, you choose the university that you want to go, that you want to enroll, and it's all based on the grade you do. So my grade was enough for the military school, and then I applied. And I went there. I went for the interview process, and I just love the school. I just the people, the officers. But it was cool. Probably it was it was a bait to take us in. They were pretending like, yeah, we are one of the best schools in Turkey. We are one of the best universities in Turkey. But I liked during the interview process, and then I just proceed, and then luckily I ended up in the school. It went well, like all the interview process went well, and then yeah, in 2013, the air cadet in Turkish Air Force Academy.
Wow. Does that mean that you flew?
What do you mean I flew?
Pilot training to be a pilot then? I know there's like different areas that you can go into.
So how it works out in Turkey, Turkish Air Force Academy is that for 4 years it is a university, like academic education, but next to it there's also military education and sports training, like intense sports training. And after 4 years, they check your health situation, they check your grade, academic grade, your check your physical condition, and they decide if you are eligible to become a pilot or not. And if you are, you start with flight training. But before that, during 4 years at the school, we are having flights just to put that will in cadets, like small flights with small planes. I think it was like 10 hours in a year. In a year, it was like 10 hours, around something like that. So we fly with the instructors, and it was something to pump in that will, like
yeah, get you excited about it, huh?
Yeah, definitely. It was really impressive. Like I was, you were already dreaming about the future, and then you were already willing to be a pilot. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. So then tell me, you're in school, and what year are you in 2016?
I was the third year. I was a third year student in 2016. So the coup happened in July, which means that the summer from third year to become a fourth year student.
Okay, so the summer of your third year of university.
Yeah.
And so walk us through where you were that night.
Sure. Traumas coming again.
I'm sure.
So every summer in the academy, I will refer academy from now on, but it is Turkish Air Force Academy. So every summer in academy, all the students go to military summer camp,
Okay.
which holds intense military training and sports training. So we do nothing about academia, we do not study anything, but all we do is wake up early, do military training, do sports training, and that's it, the whole 6 weeks. Only the fifth week, some of the students are going for this flight that I mentioned, and
Oh, okay.
sixth week is for competition between different grades, sports competitions.
Okay.
But yeah, so for 4 5 weeks intense training. So we were in that summer camp in Yalova, which is 2 hours drive from Istanbul.
Okay.
Istanbul is where the academy is, and the Yalova is, I think, 3 or 2, something like that, 2 3 hours drive from Istanbul. So we were in Yalova. We transported there, I think, in the 9th of July, which is pretty normal because every summer we go there. So we went there in the, I think, 9th of July, and it was the first week of the camp, which is the most intense week. A lot of training and stuff. Everything was going normal until the morning of 15 July. Normally, in the summer camp, in the end of summer camp, the head of the Air Force, Four
Head of
Chief
the Air
General,
Force. Okay.
yeah, head of the Air Force. So normally, head of the Air Force comes to summer camp in the end, in the last week of it. But for us, he came in the first week, 15th of July morning, which was really unusual. We were pretty surprised, but you don't think I had that kind of thing because you're in an intense program. You just surprised for a moment and then you just keep rolling. So
Right.
that was what happened. So the commander came and then he did a speech about the importance of the republic and how modernist and progressive we are, and we need to protect that country in every way possible. Normal, it was fine, because we were used to that pumping speech, like, and then in the evening of 15 July, I went to my bed. After half an hour, we were woke up for a drill, for a training. The summer camp, also it sometimes happens in the school, in the academy. There's a training that we hold. So it is the tradition of the Air Force, and it comes from there. So if you become a pilot, if you become a military pilot, jet pilot, that you have to take off the plane in the shortest time possible, in probably 5 minutes, 6 minutes. And for that, you have to be really fast. You have to dress up really fast. Like, you're waking up, and then sometimes they're picking you from your home in a couple of minutes after you wake up. Sometimes you're sleeping in the base, and then you wake up, and then you dress up all the gears that you
Your
fly
flight
with.
suit.
Exactly. And then you need to plane and then take off. So to get used to it, we were also having a similar drill, which we were woke up by commanders, and then we had to get ready in a couple of minutes. So that was what happened in 15 July night, we thought. And then I just woke up, and then I just dressed up. I got my gun, my rifle, and then I went to the field that we. But there was also something usual, which there were buses, like there were many buses, around, I think, 20, or maybe less. I'm not sure. But also all the commanders were up, so they were rushing around. So I was trying to figure out what is happening, because at this point it was not normal anymore.
Yeah.
And then also there were helicopters running away and like running around. And then we got orders to get into bus. So all my friends got into bus. I was in the line. So we were getting into bus one by one, following the line. And before my turn came, like, the bus was full. So most of my friends got in and they left, and some of us stayed in the base, in the camp area in Yalova, because there was not enough space in buses. But if there were enough space, we would also go. So we stayed there. But also there's something really important I need to emphasize, that in the summer camp, we don't have any connection with outside. Like there were no internet connection. We don't have any phone. We don't have any. Um, we don't even have that the phones that you put in coins and then call your family. We can only use them for the weekend. So also no television, no radio. We didn't have any connection. So we didn't know there was a coup going on outside. So my friends left. That was and then they left. We stayed. Most of the commanders also left. Only a couple of them, which were lower ranks, stayed with us. There were also question marks because one of the commanders before they left said, "We are going for a drill. We will just go have a night training," which was also normal. But also there were too many, like there were the whole school going for a night training. That was unusual. There were another commander said, "Okay, there are terrorist attacks happening all over the country, so we are going back to school." And then they left, and I was questioning. Some of us left, some of us here. So if there is a terrorist attack, what will happen to us, or what will happen to them? It was not clear at all. But also we weren't able to see the picture that the coup is happening. I mean, if okay, another thing that I need to emphasize that I'm just saying coup, but I am not meaning that.
Okay.
But yeah, back up the claim of the government that there's a coup because it is we cannot call it a coup.
It
It's
was an
too
attempted
unclear.
coup.
I cannot even call it attempted
Okay.
coup because we don't know what is it.
Right.
It's all over the place. I mean,
That's a good point.
yeah, it's all over the place. So, but it's a whole another discussion. Just something I needed to say.
Yeah,
I will just call it coup, but it doesn't mean I mean it. So-called coup. And then we were trying to figure out and then I called my friends that went out with buses. And one of them, like I called one of them, and then he picked up, and there were guns coming from background, like sound of guns. And he said, "They are shooting us. We don't know what is happening. We are in a gunfight, so we had no idea what is happening." And one of us, yeah, got shot. And he said, "I'm not really able to talk right now. If I can, I will call you again, but take care of yourself." And then he hung up.
Yeah.
And then we went to radio, we opened one of the radios, and then there was the prime minister. Prime minister was saying there's a group in the army that trying to take over the government, but most of the military forces are with us. So we are going to stop this group. And the first thing first thing I thought came to my mind was, okay, which side we are on? Like, are we trying to take over the government, or are we trying to stop the group that taking over the government? Like, where are we? Because we had no idea what is happening.
Yeah.
And then another bus came, a smaller one, and we got orders to get in. So we asked the commander, where are we going to go? Like, what is happening? And he said, I don't know more than you. So I am doing whatever I am told because that's the only thing I can do. If I reject an order, I don't know what kind of order I am rejecting. If I am doing something good, I'm doing something bad. I was thinking, if I don't get in bus, maybe they are taking us somewhere safe. We had no idea what is happening because maybe after a couple of hours, this place will be bombed, so they are taking us away, and like all those thoughts are running through your mind, and then it is easy to follow the orders in that situation because you have that certain trust to your commanders because you vowed for the same thing, for the same values, for the same, you have the same belief, same mindset. So you just choose to believe at that point. You feel like there's no danger will come from them. So I just followed the order, and then I got into bus, and then we started waiting. They gave us 3 bullets each. We were waiting, and then after half an hour or an hour, I don't exactly remember, we got orders to get off the bus, and we also did that.
Okay.
And then we started sitting outside out of the bus until morning, and then we went to bed. That was the end of the coup for me.
Yeah. So they gave you 3 bullets when did they do that for the other buses too? Do you know?
No, no, an indictment. Like they left with quite many bullets.
Okay.
So they had bullets. I think if I remember, it was something like thousands. So it was many,
Yeah.
but they choose to not use them.
Okay.
Like they were able to fight all night, or I don't know, kill many people,
Mhm.
but they didn't. There is no any matching ballistic report
Mhm.
with the guns of cadets with the
Yeah.
people who died in that night.
Yeah.
So even that is enough to show that how innocent are my friends.
Right.
Because if they seriously killed someone, that the first thing would government, or the first thing that the court will do would
Mhm.
be the match the guns with with the bullets of the victims that killed the victims. But they weren't able to do that.
Mhm.
I mean, because there's no match.
Right.
So even that is enough to show that me, my friend, we were innocent, and then we found ourselves in a situation that we didn't want to be part of it,
Right.
and that's how it happened, actually. Yeah.
Were were all your friends okay, or did you know people who lost their lives that night? Because there were over 200 people who lost their lives that night.
Yes, mostly civilians, and then police, but also some of the military, some of the soldiers were killed.
Mhm.
All of the soldiers were in different position, of course. We need to look at the individual cases, but two of
Mhm.
my friends were also killed, and I exactly know their situation, and I know, like, clearly know that they were innocent. They
Yeah.
didn't harm anyone, they didn't shoot anyone, they didn't think.
Yeah.
But then in dark of the night, they
Mhm.
were beaten to death, and we lost them in that night in Bosphorus Bridge. Two
Wonderful.
of them, Murat Tekin and Ragıp Enes Katran.
Mhm.
So they left with buses from the same camp that I was in, from Yalova, and they were trying to go to Istanbul. Like in Istanbul, they were trying to go to academy, and in Bosphorus Bridge, their road was cut by the traffic, and then they had to leave the bus, but they didn't involve in a gunfight or anything. People who look like civilians, still not sure who are they. Like
Mhm.
there were records from that night,
Mhm.
but somehow courts cannot find them. Actually, not somehow. They choose to protect the people who were outside killing soldiers in that night. They did a delegated legislation,
Okay.
decree law, yeah,
Decree law.
decree
Yeah.
law.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so they published a decree law who protected those
Mhm.
people who
Mhm.
were outside and killing soldiers.
Your belief that they were not really civilians, or maybe there were some civilians there, but there were other people that had been planted.
I believe there were some people, some forces who involved in Coup night from different places.
Mhm.
It's not actually my belief, it's by evidence. I mean, I was not there in that night, but my friends were,
Yeah.
and they said in the courts that there were suspicious cars
Mhm.
opening fire to them,
Mhm.
and there's a video record, a footage that shows someone on top of the bridge shooting with rifle. So there's a couple of footage that shows people with with guns running
Mhm.
around in that night. Where did they find those guns? It is in the court. It is by evidence.
Mhm.
In the bodies of victims, there are bullets
Mhm.
from the guns who are
Mhm.
not in the inventory of the army. So
Mhm.
who were shooting those people, who were killing
Right.
those civilians in that night? So definitely there are some other forces who were killing both soldiers but also civilians
Yeah.
to create a chaos, so that the army, the military, and the civilians and police forces kill each other.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
happened, unfortunately.
Well, I'm really sorry about your friends. I was able to see their pictures in your documentary. So, well,
Yeah, it is difficult to talk about. Yeah.
yeah. No, I'm sure. I'm sure.
So we used to eat with one of them in
Mhm.
the like that was one of my favorite things about the academy, that during the suppers or lunch,
Yeah.
the tables were always mixed up. So you were always eating with different people,
Oh,
which
okay.
which I find really cool.
Uh-huh.
From different grades. You cannot just sit with with your friends from the same grade. So you have to sit with the upper or lower class, and you
Mhm.
have to have those conversations, which I find it really efficient, really cool. So I used to eat with one of the friend we lost, with Murat,
Mhm.
for more than one time, and he was just so gentle.
Yeah.
He was an amazing guy. Yeah. Also his family. I was lucky to met with his family after what happened, after the incident, like his dad, his mom. They're
Mm-hmm.
just so beautiful people,
Mm-hmm.
like so pure. Only, yeah. Even all those, yeah, it is sad. Yeah.
Yeah. He was so gentle-minded.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. It's, yeah, out of this real this world, like
Yeah.
out of reality. Sometimes yeah, I think this is the most difficult thing
Mm-hmm.
that makes people go through the coup, that
Yeah.
making them to process, because
Sure.
is like it's difficult to connect it with the reality.
Mm-hmm.
Like things happened, we lost loved ones, and then our lives got destroyed. We had to leave the country. So
Another
it's
step. Yeah.
really, yeah, it's really difficult to connect with reality. Like these things are
Yeah.
happening in real. But once we do that, it's easier to overcome the traumas and then pick up the life one more time wherever
Yeah.
we left, and then move on.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I always say, you take those things from the people that you love that have passed on and make sure that those things still stay living. He was gentle and kind, and that's something that you can take forward, So, okay, so
Yeah.
very interesting. So let me move on for a second. All of this happens, you're there still at the air base. Now take me from there. What happens from there? I'm just imagining you're sitting there still at the Air Force Base. You were on this bus, they gave you bullets, they pulled you off, and now you're just kind of sitting there waiting.
It was all question marks. It
Mhm.
was all because your life, probably our life, was in the line. Like if a commander says, okay, send them, and
Mhm.
then we were gone somewhere, we might be dead, we might be in a gunfire, which I was not trained for gunfire. Like I
Right.
had no idea how to have a gunfire. I mean, I shoot my rifle a couple of times before, but I
Mhm.
had no idea how to hide somewhere, or I don't know. Like
That
I
like
didn't
most
get
of the
trained to
cadets?
kill. Yeah, yeah,
Most of the
exactly.
cadets were like that too.
All of the cadets,
All of
we
them.
didn't, yeah, we didn't get trained to have that combat,
Hmm.
because like our life was already so busy with academic training, like academic education we follow, like sports education and the military training. But military training does not involve shooting somewhere, or I don't
Yeah,
know, like
that kind of live
having
combat.
an yeah, we weren't ready for action any
Yeah.
at all.
So
So it
why do you think that they use the cadets?
we
What's
don't
your
know.
what
We
is
had
what's the answer to that?
we had no idea. We had it is one of the biggest question marks, actually. No one can answer right now, because in Istanbul you have you have the commando brigades, you have the elite soldiers,
Mhm.
to like that, they get trained to kill people, like to kidnap people and do all the things that you need to do in a coup.
Mhm.
And military cadets, like they were freshmen, first year, like
Yeah.
they were 18 years old. They had no idea how to shoot a gun or anything. Like what kind of benefit you can get from that, from
Mhm.
those young people? So it doesn't make any sense.
Mhm.
And it explains that most of our friends perplexed, like me also, like we didn't know what to do,
Mhm.
because we didn't get that training. So
Yeah.
it is really strange, and no one has an answer for that.
Mhm.
um I recently read a thread on Twitter
Mhm.
that someone was trying to explain, a theory, of course, which I find it
Mhm.
fair. It
Mhm.
makes sense, which says that the number of the cadets who involved in the coup
Mhm.
is more than all other soldiers almost.
Mhm.
No, wait. Okay, I need to check that information,
Okay.
but I know that there's not another group of soldiers who
Uh-huh.
involved like the whole group of soldiers like cadets.
Okay.
So with when you involve cadets in the queue,
Mm-hmm.
if you make them involved, that the number of the soldiers who involved with the queue is increasing
Right.
dramatically.
Uh-huh.
So now you have a bigger group that
Right.
try to make a coup,
Right.
which is pretty good for the government, right?
Mm-hmm.
More people trying to do coup, so it's more real. Now
Mm-hmm.
it makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
That can be a reason why they involved us. More than that, it can be that it is already designed. It's already the coup is already designed to fail, able to kidnap the president, like the elite soldiers can do.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, we didn't get orders for it, but I'm just giving an example.
Right. Right. Right.
That's
Right.
as an example. So it was already designed to fail,
Uh-huh.
and who can fail it? The private soldiers, like the lowest ranks, can fail it, and the cadets, another
And the
lowest
cadets.
rank, can fail it. They can be another reason,
Yeah. Which helps
but
to,
more
I
than
mean,
that,
it shows that it's staged. It's like theater. It's like
yeah, yeah, exactly,
you
yeah,
know, a
yeah,
show
indeed, yeah, yeah, yeah.
with people, real lives. Right.
Yeah, but more than that, to be honest,
Mm-hmm.
at the moment, I don't have any
Oh
answers.
no. Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely didn't want to do a coup,
Yeah. Yeah.
not at all.
Yeah. So tell me, so you then after all of this stuff happens,
Hmm.
where do you go?
15th of July, like the
Mhm.
coup, and then the next morning, like in the end of the night, we left our guns and then we went to bed.
Mhm.
We slept for a couple of hours, and then the police forces, the police came to camp. They raided the camp.
Mhm.
They took electronics of us. I don't know. They checked the our all our stuff. They went through. They made a search in the camp, the whole camp. They took everything about the commanders, and then for 10 days we were there. In the first day of this 10 day, police forces were towards their guns to us. They were on alert mode, like alert mode.
Like on alert, like
Yeah, alert
yeah.
mode, and they were being really careful. They were not tolerating any behavior. So it was a custody for us. It was
Mhm.
like an open air prison for us
Yeah.
for a couple of days, and then eventually they realized we are not trying to give harm to anyone. We were just cadets
Right.
at the camp. So we start to have conversation with police,
Mhm.
and most of them were genuine people.
Mhm.
They were nice people, most of them.
Mhm.
And in the end of the 10 days, they were actually saying, yeah, actually you didn't do anything wrong, so probably you will go to your home. Also same for your friends, you didn't know anything. And also persecutor came with them. So persecutor questioned some of us,
Mhm.
and after questioning he said, you are fine, probably nothing is going to happen
Mhm.
to you, and then you will go to your home. um, which was true. That is what happened. We went to our home,
Mhm.
but we were expecting the same thing would happen to other groups of cadets who didn't involve in coup as well, like us.
Right.
So there was a group from our school in Ankara, capital of Turkey,
Mhm.
and they went there for the parachute training,
Mhm.
to get the training on how to parachute. And they also went there before coup, like a week before. So there's nothing related with the coup.
Mhm.
And in the night of the coup, they also didn't do anything. They stayed at the base. They didn't even have guns or uniforms or anything.
Mhm.
They didn't involve with any kind of combat, but they were arrested. They served in jail for 6 months.
Mhm.
Same position with us.
Mhm.
But anyway, we were lucky, so they sent us to home.
Mhm.
My dad came to pick me up,
Mhm.
and then we went to no, sorry, we went to my home first,
Mhm.
and after a couple of 6 days,
Mhm.
after 6 days, with the decree law, they shut down all the military schools and they kicked out all the cadets, which was around, I think, 15,000 students,
Wow.
like this, gone.
Yeah.
All
Wow.
of us without any school, like, yeah,
Yeah.
gone. All the uniforms, all the education. I mean,
Mhm.
why I did all the military trainings,
Mhm.
like why I went through all the pain, all the
Yeah.
suffer. So now it was all gone. And then in the yeah in the I think first week of August, after the Grillo, I went to academy to Istanbul from my home,
Mhm.
and I picked up my stuff, and the what I had seen there was, it was horrible. So police raided the school, but they raided in a way that we were their enemies. Like they throw everything on the ground, that everything you can imagine, like all the clothes, but also all the books. They ripped off the books. They broke our luggages. What is the
Yeah.
purpose of that? Like just do your search, right?
Mhm.
So um like they they act in a way that we were their enemies,
Right.
which is strange because we were
We're
serving for the
students.
same country. Yeah, I mean,
Right. Right.
also we were still the part of the army, and
Yeah.
they were police and we were army. Like you are supposed to protect the country together, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
How you can judge the whole students?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so it was something really shocking for me to see all my stuff like that, like the
Yeah.
corridors of my dormitory, my room. Um, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That had to have been tough because I mean that was a place that you had spent 3 years at,
Yeah,
right?
it was,
So
yeah, it was
it
weird,
was
yeah.
someplace very familiar to you and where you had like a lot of good memories, you were
Yeah,
looking
indeed, yeah.
forward to being finished and being done. And and that happened. So you gather, I'm guessing, up what you can, and then you go back to Istanbul for school.
Yeah, I gathered my stuff and
Mhm.
then I went back to school. So we didn't know what will happen next because like we had an academic education for 3 years. I mean myself for 3 years. I studied at the Turkish Airforce Academy, which was the equivalent to other universities in Turkey.
Mhm.
So we were expecting something that they would recognize those years that we studied. Um, they partially did.
Okay.
So depending on the grade we get in
Mhm.
the exam that made in the end of the high school, they allowed us to choose universities again, like the end of the high school.
Just like you just finished high school.
Exactly, just like we just finished high school, so we didn't have to do the exam again,
Mhm.
luckily. Um, I'm actually I'm being sometimes I'm feeling surprised that because they're really evil,
Yeah.
like they're trying to do all the bad things that they can do,
Mhm.
but sometimes I'm thinking about like why they didn't do that, why they allowed us to, but also for other occasions,
Yeah.
why they, yeah, sometimes they're missing out
Yeah.
more evil
Sometimes it
stuff.
doesn't make sense, does it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Uh-huh.
anyway,
Yeah.
luckily they allowed us um to study wherever we left, and
Mhm.
then one more time I moved to Istanbul to pursue my university education,
Mhm.
and I enrolled in Marmara University.
Mhm.
The program was business administration in English,
Uh-huh.
and then I started studying there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You're at the university, and I'm
Hmm.
gonna guess something happens.
Yes. Yeah, that's
What
right.
happens?
So I studied there more than 1 year. I was also working. I got a
Mhm.
really nice job with a really nice boss. He was
Uh-huh.
giving me a lot of initiative. I really loved that job. That
Uh-huh.
was my first decent job.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I don't know, like he was pro-government, but he was a really, really nice guy.
Uh-huh.
And he was smart. One day, one morning, I was at work. I just got work, and then my dad called, and he said, "There's police at home
Mhm.
looking for you." And then I said, "You can pass the phone to police, or you can tell them yourself that I will go to closest police station, so they don't have to raid the house. They don't have to take off your phones, your electronics, my brother's laptop, whatever it is. So I will go to the closest police station, tell them." And then he said, like, he will go. And
Mhm.
then they said, okay, it's okay. And I hang up my phone, I remove my SIM card, and I went underground.
You went underground.
So from April 2018, April to October 2018, I was hiding in Istanbul.
How do you do that?
Friends helped a lot. Yeah, I mean friends from the academy mainly, but also my girlfriend back in time.
Mhm.
She was helping great. Like she was doing my groceries and stuff.
Mhm.
But also, it is. I mean, it is difficult. You have to be careful, but also it is not like Second World War.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because like I still was able to I was able to call my parents, let
Mhm.
them know I'm fine,
Yeah.
or I don't know, you have Netflix, you have
Uh-huh.
video, you have video games,
Right,
you
right.
have books, so
Yeah.
you don't have to be like Zen mode, like
Uh-huh.
thinking all day. You have
Right.
distractions. I think I'm a introvert person.
So it wasn't so bad
So
for you, huh?
no, no, wasn't bad. I had an excuse to not go out now.
Right.
Yeah.
Every
Um,
introvert would love that, right? Good.
yeah.
That's
So
good.
it was fine. It was not bad.
What made you say, I can't stay anymore? I can't do it. What happened?
Like the main reason I didn't leave immediately was I didn't have money.
Uh-huh.
It cost a lot of money to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Back in time, it was I think around 2000.
Yeah.
Now they mention numbers like 4,000 euros,
Yeah.
which is insane amount of money.
Yeah.
For a young person, it's crazy. But also for grown-ups, it is. If you
Right.
have a family, you are paying only to get to Greece, by the way, not to Netherlands, not to Western
From
Europe,
there.
only to
Yeah.
Turkey, from Turkey to Greece. You
Mhm.
have to pay 4,000 rupees. Yeah. So I didn't have money.
How old were
I
you?
was so I was 23. Yeah,
23.
23. Yeah, I was
Okay.
23. And I stayed hiding, and it was summer with a close friend you just did the interview with.
Mm-hmm.
He was visiting me as well, and then we were talking about the possibility of that if we can leave ourselves without paying smugglers. I was like, yeah, let's think about it. And
Mm-hmm.
then we went through the whole map,
Mm-hmm.
like the whole map between Turkey and Greece, and then we found a couple of spots that can be okay to try,
Mm-hmm.
like far away from the police station, like border control, and also the river is not really large.
Mm-hmm.
My friend was not under search at that time, so he went to the border and then he checked the possibilities. It
Mm-hmm.
was a really brave moment that he did, like the brave thing he did.
Wow.
And then we choose a place to pass, and then we bought like the kayak boats from Decathlon,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and then we left the country with it.
With
After
kayaks.
yeah, with the not kayak, how do you call them? Inflatable
Oh,
boat.
inflatable boats. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
inflatable boat,
inflatable
not
boats.
kayak. Yeah, yeah, it was
Inflatable.
inflatable boat, not
And
a
then
kayak.
you
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah,
rode?
we just row.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and then it was a bit scary because I did canoe before, but I didn't do inflatable boat, but also it was a shitty one.
Yeah.
It was the cheapest one.
Mm-hmm.
And so we we um we inflated it, and then it was ready, and then we put it on water, and then he jumped, and then I jumped,
Mm-hmm.
and then we row, and then we started to turn.
Oh no.
It was so funny. And then we were turning, but we were not moving forward.
Right.
We were going down with the stream. And then I was like started to get scary
Mm-hmm.
because we might end up in the Turkish side, you know?
Ah, yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, and they might find us and anything. And like I was thinking about options that should we swim? And then
Uh-huh.
he was no. He said no, we are not gonna do that. And then eventually, like after a couple of minutes, I think after it must be 3 minutes, we figured out how to row it.
How to row
And
it.
then we managed to get to Greece. But it was what an adventure, yeah.
Wow, wow, I'm sure. And then how was it landing in there at Greece? What's that experience like?
It was smooth, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, um, so we end up there, and then we start to walk to the closest village.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You are familiar with Greece, so you know what is siesta. But
Yes.
back in time, we didn't know
Yeah.
that there is the whole concept of siesta. Like
Yep.
couple of hours during the day, the whole village is dead.
It's just quiet.
Yeah, it's really quiet. So we went to village, and then it was so quiet. It was like it reminds me that the Wild West movies, that
Yeah.
the cowboy is entering the village and there
Oh
is no
yeah.
one.
Where it's
There's a
completely quiet.
Yeah, exactly. There is a bus
Yeah.
rolling in the
Uh-huh.
road. So it was like that. And then we were
Wow.
like, what's happening? And we just keep rolling. And then we saw a lady running. And then she ran towards us. And then she said, are you refugees? Are you looking for asylum? And then we said, yes. And then she said, I can call the police for you. And then she did. Police came after, I think, like half an hour. We took a good nap during that half an hour.
Good.
So we were really relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then police came. This part was a bit scary, to be honest,
Mm-hmm.
because a car came. It was one of the like big cars that the half track, but the closed half track.
Like a an SUV,
Mhm.
a big
No, it was more like a van.
like a van. Okay.
Yeah, more like a van,
Remember what
and
color it was?
it was dark blue, navy blue,
Mhm.
and there wasn't any symbols. There wasn't writing any police or anything anywhere, and I was like, okay, what the fuck? The
Yeah.
MIT, the Turkish intelligence came for us.
Right, right, right.
And then the guys came and then took everything of us, like the wallet, all the identity cards, all the phones. And back in time, there wasn't such a thing as pushback,
Yeah.
but I imagine about it. I was thinking about it. What if those two people were racist, and then
Yeah.
now we have nothing. We don't have any identity card. We don't have any phone. What if they just kicked us out of car and then drive away?
Yeah.
We are fucked up.
Then you have
So
nothing.
so from my French, yeah. But luckily it didn't happen. We end up in the station. We stayed there for I think 5 days or something. It was pretty bad conditions. The toilet was open. I don't know, like there were no glass on the window. The
Mhm.
night was cold. The blanket was the dirtiest thing I have ever seen.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad. I'm really sorry for the people who had to stay there for long term.
You
But
remember?
they took us to United Nations camp, which
Mm-hmm.
was not brilliant.
Mm-hmm. I've heard
Um,
that too.
yeah, so there were the two parts of I mean multiple parts. But first they put us in the closed part,
Mm-hmm.
which was it was kind of it was an old prison, I heard. I'm not sure how correct it is, but it seems like a prison. So bunker beds, like there were no space to walk around.
Yeah.
It was a lot of beds. Like the windows were really tiny. We stayed there for 1 week, but it was okay. Like
Mm-hmm.
with my friends, we were having a lot of conversations, and I was reading, I was writing. So it was okay. Like I had a peaceful time
Mhm.
after difficult month in Turkey. So it was like no fun, no distraction, nothing.
Yeah,
But yeah, I can just think about what is happening in my life and
yeah.
what I have been going through.
Mhm.
So we stayed there for 7 days in that closed part, and then they took us open part of the United Nations camp, which was a bit better, but the food was still a problem. I was really sorry about people, but especially the, how to say, the
Minors
children, yeah, minors without
without parents, unaccompanied,
yeah,
unaccompanied
unaccompanied
minors.
minors. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
was really sorry for them because
Mhm.
like we were next to each other, and then I was seeing them, and then some of them were telling me that they are there for 2 years. They're there for 2.5 years because they are minors. The United Nations cannot send them back to their countries, but also they are not allowed to come to Western countries, or they are not allowed to go around in Greece. So
Yeah.
they're in prison for 2 years, which is,
Wow.
I don't understand.
Mhm.
But yeah, like the food was bad. They had like a couple of balls, and then they were playing with them all day.
Yeah.
So we stayed there for 3 days, and then they released us. So
Mhm.
we found our way to Athens.
Mhm.
We found ourselves a place, stayed there for 5 months.
For 5 months.
It was really good time.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. I'm sure it
Yeah,
was.
I
You
had,
were safe then, for the most part.
yeah.
Did you worry about Greek, I mean, not Greek, Turkish
Mhm.
MIT or anything like that being over there
No,
following you?
no. I knew I wasn't that important for the Turkish government.
Mhm.
Um, I was just a cadet, like
Yeah.
one of the thousands. Who
Mhm.
cares me? I mean, right now I'm giving that interview. We just did the documentary, but who cared us? Like
Yeah.
they don't care.
Yeah. Mhm.
But this will blow up on
Mhm.
them.
Yeah,
I
it
believe.
will.
I believe so. Because I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
There are hundreds of us. Like they prisoned hundreds of us, but also outside there are hundreds of me,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
myself, who are fighting right now for their friends, for
Mhm.
themselves.
Mhm. And that's so important.
Yeah.
That is so important, to make noise about it. This new documentary called The Blue Bus, it gives a great comprehensive look at what really happened behind the scenes from those that were there, the cadets that were there. And this is during the July 15, 2016 failed coup attempt in Turkey. The documentary gives a great perspective of what the military cadets were doing, what they were thinking during this time. Many of these cadets have been jailed, they've been exiled, and been subjected to social isolation. The documentary is named after a blue military bus, and that bus carried these cadets on the night of that failed coup attempt. In the documentary, you're able to see unshown footage that you could find anywhere else, a real good look at what it was like on the ground. In interviews with these 6 cadets that created this are really outstanding and give a very good perspective and would really make a lot of people think about what really happened that night on July 15, 2016. I encourage you to watch The Blue Bus.
There's not a single lie in the documentary that they can point out. So they were trying to distract people with different claims.
Yeah.
I think that can be the only reason. But
Mhm.
yeah, like I was so happy to see all those reactions, and I
Yeah,
was like, we did something
you did
great.
do something
Yeah,
great. That's so
yeah,
good.
that was the yeah,
Yeah, I love that.
that was a real